Hey there, Scrappy Names fans. I am back today with a new layout to share with you, a mixed media layout. This one is of my niece when she first came home. So this is for her book, snuggling into her dad. Now what I just showed you there was I did the old hollowing out part of those pattern papers to use it as a mat for my cardstock. So I trimmed the white cardstock down a little bit and then, took out the centre of the pattern paper and, stuck it all down because I don't want to waste that. That pattern paper, I think it's from the new Maggie Holmes Carousel, is one of the new ones I got. And I'm just using this Distress Oxide ink in the Worn Lipstick and using some of this texture paste. I have two texture pastes here that I use. One is just a cheap one I got from one of our cheapy shops, and it's not smooth as such, whereas this texture paste I'm using, which I brought in just a garage sale pack thing that a woman was getting rid of, is quite smooth. So I went with this one just because that's what I just wanted a nice smooth sort of layout. Now what I'm doing is just going around randomly with two different stencils because I'm a Gemini and cannot make my mind up. And I'm using a mix of the pink and then this blue Distress Oxide, which is called Broken China. So I'm just going to go around, and that's what I've done, is mix the roses and the hearts in the different colours, in those two different colours, just to match in with the background paper as well. So whilst I set that aside to dry, because that texture paste does take a little bit to dry, I've discovered. I do zap it with my heat gun, but I'm conscious of not overheating it. So I'm just going to map my photo onto some of these pattern papers here, which are just from That's Okay as a Craft one I'm cutting into, I'm pretty certain now. And this pinky one is from the Cute Girl crepe paper range. So what I've done is I'm making as I've said in other videos, I am making a scrapbook album for my niece, who is now 6 months old, 6 and a bit months. She's actually sitting behind me eating her lunch. So if you hear her, she's just saying hi. Anyway, so what I've done is gone through my stash. I've created a bit of a kit, a baby kit, or baby girl kit in particular, using some of the stuff I've had when I've created layouts for like my daughter's album when she was a baby and my son's album when he was little. So I've just chucked all that into a kit, a container, so I'm not rummaging through too much of my stash and using up those sorts of materials or supplies. I do reach into my stash if I can't find the piece that I'm looking for, piece that I've got the idea for. But yeah, so that's that. So just checking out what how my photo and its the layering at the back of the mat is going. I would like to use this piece, and I don't know where I've put the layout. I think I might have been really organised and have put this layout in its album, so I don't have it with me. But anyway, so I think what I am doing, you know what, let's just wait and see, and I'll, not try and play fortune teller here and figure out what I'm doing. Maybe I add a strip, do I? Yeah, maybe I add some strips here. Yeah. So, not that you can quite see it here, but some of the texture paste didn't quite go according to plan, so it's a bit mushed up a bit and was annoying me. It didn't look so neat. There you go. Thea's saying hi. So what I'm doing is just adding some strips of paper, or playing around with adding some of these strips. I think I do end up adding some just to add a bit of something different to the page, a bit of interest, but also to cover up some of those blotchy pieces of the texture paste because it was bothering me. So I decided to ink these as well, just to make the paper sort of step up off the background a little bit, because it is white cardstock, even though I've got all that colour textures paste there. I wanted some of these to stand up, be a little bit prominent as well. So I just use my black StazOn ink just to, yeah, ink the edges a bit. And it goes in well with the black and white of the star paper that I'm using there anyway. I think I end up doing this for a few of the bits and pieces I use. But again, we'll have to wait and see because I cannot remember. Now these papers are from a recent haul I got, so I'm finally using some of them. This one as well is the crepe paper carousel. I got a mix of that. Oh, and the Maggie Holmes the Bloom one. If you want to know exactly which one, leave me a comment and I will dig around into my stash because these two are actually in my stash. They're not actually part of my little baby kit. And I will tell you, but it's either a crepe paper, the carousel, or the Bloom. I know I got one or two bits and pieces from that as well. I always ink the edges. When I've done this trick before and I haven't done it for a while, I always smudge the ink before it dries. So I was trying to be really precious there with it and make sure that I didn't smudge it too much. All right. So there you go. My texture paste is dry. See, if you have a look, you can see a few of the blotchy bits. So now I'm just going to work on getting the photo onto the page and getting all those bits and pieces in the background on. Right. Okay, just feeding the baby. And I tried to make sure that the paper, any colours I used obviously were that of the pattern paper, but in saying that, my niece's outfit is like blues and pinks and that, which you can't quite see probably at the moment, or I can't see very clearly on my screen here. So that's why that was really good. I had those papers, they matched, everything matched really, really well with that photo. So I think she's talking to her sandwich. Is that what you're doing? Or are you just chatting? I think I've done a few voiceovers where she's played a starring role or an assistant role. All right, so just pop that up on some craft foam just to bring it up off that background. I don't think I used that paper. I think I contemplate it. It would be really handy if I'd pull that out. All right, what am I doing? I do apologise. I have this already recorded and now I'm doing the voiceover, and I think I did this layout like over a week ago. So it's been sitting waiting to be edited and voiceovered, so I've semi-forgotten what I've done. Oh, that's right. I add some bits of coloured just for a bit of interest and something different, I guess. I use some of the scrap pieces to make some little kind of embellishments, I guess you could say. So there's some of that black and white star paper just to tie in those colours of those two strips of paper as well, particularly the black and white. So I'm just going to randomly sort of place them around. And they have popped up on some of that foam tape. Again, just to bring them up off that background, the white background. Even though, as I said, there's colours there, it just, yeah, I figure it needed something else. All right, and that's just some scrap paper of the other photo mat layer piece behind my photo. Again, just tying it all in a bit around the page as best as I can. I really liked how this layout turned out. At first, I have to say, I wanted to do the texture paste background. I thought it looked really sweet and it would look really nice. But then it worked out, but didn't work out perfectly, I guess. I'm a bit of a perfectionist, so I wasn't really sure if I was going to go ahead with it. But in the end, I think it turned out quite well. It's a little bit different in that I've used those strips of paper. and these little bits of scraps just to make some sort of mini embellishments, I guess, on the page. All right, so what I did there was just stop recording and put in the title, which is just Dad Snuggle. Again, I can't remember. These stickers have been in my stash. I got given them. I don't think I brought those ones. But I used 2 different colours just to make it stand out a little bit too, just for something different. And I'm using some of these puffy stickers, which are the Carousel collections. They're really cute, actually. I wasn't going to get them because I thought, oh, you know, how do I use these? And then thought of the girls' album, like thought of my niece's album, plus my daughter's album. And thought, oh, these will go really well at some point. I will use them, which I've used a few of them at the moment. I looked at them the other day and realised how much I had actually used. So just deciding what to add. And being that my brother's shirt there was just like a plain black, it was really easy to add the colour here, I think. Oh, those puffy stickers are the cute girl ones from Crepe Paper, by the way. So they're a bit older. So just using those just to embellish my page. Oh, and using these, yeah, these little puffy sticker word. I think it'll say, yeah, love this. It's a beautiful photo. It's not long after she come home from hospital, after being born. And yeah, and my brother's this big 6'6" giant sort of thing, and she's this tiny little thing snuggled up into his neck. She's not so little anymore. And she's very cheeky. Yes, you are. Now what am I doing? So I have a mind blank. I know when I do these layouts and I'm filming them, I'm like, yep, I know, I'll explain this and I'll do this and ready. And then if I leave them too long and I forget, so I do apologise, there's like blank moments there because I'm trying to remember what I was doing. Oh, yes, I loved this little puffy word. I thought it was just cute, which is appropriate. So yeah, I had to add them to the layout. I had to add it because I just thought, yep. And I think it ties in with the black font at the top of the title as well. So I thought it didn't sort of stand out too much, like on its own. And I was determined to start using these, being that I'd brought them and haven't used part of this haul much at all. So I was determined to try and start using it. I guess it might hit to warrant the spending on it. I'm just adding some elements from those cute girl puffy stickers there. I'm not sure how much more embellishing, in all honesty, I add because of the texture paste background, because it looks busy, but I could be wrong. I'm not 100% sure. I'm guessing that says something. You'll see in the close-ups, I guess, the things that I can't quite see on my editing screen here, which is a bit of a bugger. So we're nearly at the tail end of our week here. It is Thursday when we're doing this voiceover. This video will be up Friday morning. So who has some scrappy plans? I am in desperate need of some creative time. I think I really need some creative time. I'm feeling a bit bleh. So I am desperately hoping to block out some time on the weekend. My 2 big kids go back to their other parental's house, so that will just leave me, my partner, and my 4-year-old, and she wants to have some scrappy time with mummy on the weekend too. She's been a bit scrappy this week. If you follow me on Instagram or have seen me popping up some photos on Scrapaholics Anonymous on Facebook, you would have seen that, yeah, she's done some layouts, and then she was teaching her cousin how to scrapbook, which was just so adorable, so adorable. So I'm hoping to squeeze some time in on the weekend. It should be okay. I haven't really got any done during the week. I have a layout that's been sitting here that I've got set up, and I think I'm ready to go with it, but I just haven't had the time to sit down and do it. I think I get a bit too tired of a night time to sit down and, you know, pump out a layout. So, and I guess creativity doesn't always come naturally to me. I don't know about anyone else, but I do this, and, you know, people say to me, oh, you're really creative and rah-de-rah, but it's a process. So some days I can be like switched on the ball, ready to go, let's do this. And then other days or weeks I can be just a bit like, nah, I want to do it, but it's going to take me some time. So don't know about anyone else. Let me know how your creative mojo flows, or your creative juices flow, whether or not you can just go, yep, you know, I can do this in spits and spurts, or, you know. I was listening to Adele and Aaron's Inky Chat podcasts about making time for creative, you know, outlets, and you know, they were saying about pockets of time and things like that, which is good. Unfortunately, I guess I can be one of these people where I've taken little pockets of time over the week to pull out the papers, and, you know, I've got the photo ready, and I've got an idea of how I want this layout to go, but also being it's got some mixed media, it's going to take a little bit to get it dried and stuff like that. So yeah, I struggle. I may actually try and squeeze in a bit of time now once I do this voiceover, and get this video sorted. I might try and get it started, and just, even if it's just 20 minutes before I have to rush out to do school run, I will give it a go. It depends on also how little Miss down here, who's got her lunch now everywhere on the floor, goes. She might have a sleep, I don't know, but we will see. Anyway, sorry, tangent, off topic, back to the layout. So as you can see, I've just added some little pieces of ephemera and all those puffy stickers, and just adding some bling here. Using, by the looks of that, it's one of these pink sparkle hearts I've just brought from Corbett Creations. They're so sweet. They're so sweet little things. They're so cute. Anyway, so I add one there, and the heart in the corner is actually one of these. So and I've added what looks like a little quote piece from, I'm going to say, the Kaiser Craft Baby Girl collection, which I've got in my little baby kit, and adding some wood veneer. So as I said, it's not too many big, bold pieces of embellishing. There's not really any clusters. It's just little bits and pieces here and there, just to, you know, decorate the page, make it look a bit sweet. But being that there is the pattern paper as well as the texture paste background, I think she's disagreeing with me here. She's having her input. Can you hear her? I don't want to add too much more and take away from the photo or the elements of the background. So yeah, and sometimes I think that's all you need. Sometimes if you do a really cool like background, even just some papers, you don't necessarily need a lot of embellishing, I don't think, because otherwise it gets too sort of fuzzy for the eyes, and it's sort of hard to focus on what you're documenting. That's my personal opinion. That's not an expert. And for me, it's not just about the process, it's about documenting those memories, and when people are looking back, looking at those photos and those memories and telling stories, and that's why I do it. So, and I think I've said that before. So sometimes, as I said, sometimes backgrounds take up enough of the embellishing as such. You know, I know there's a piece, I've just got the Bohemian Dream from Cocoa Vanilla Studio in my new Kitaholic kits for this month. I can't wait to crack into it. Side note. But there is one paper that you look at, and it's really psychedelic colours, and it's really pretty, but I don't know how you would be able to put too many embellishments on that page, because it is really bright, it is really busy, it's really pretty, but yeah, there's a lot there. So anyway, that's just my personal opinion, and, you know, feel free to leave me a comment about how you feel things go. But yeah, that's just mine. So layout is done. I've rambled on. Here are some close-ups. As I said, you can sort of see the smudgy pieces of the texture paste, but that's okay. I'm okay with that. That's how it is. I've covered it up a little bit. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Remember to give me a like, a thumbs up, and subscribe for some more fun. And I will see you next time in my next process video. Thanks for watching, everyone. Bye.